Hi there, it's Easter this weekend, and we're trying to think about Good Friday and Easter Sunday. And to help us think about that, I brought some cards along with me. Now, they all represent something and they all tell a little bit of a story. So let's start with the middle one. The middle one tells us about Jesus who died on the cross for us. And it's in red because it tells us that he shed his blood for us. Now, this one is one of the thieves who died on the cross with him, and so is this one here on this other side. This one's interesting, though, because he knew he deserved to be there, because he turned to Jesus and he said, well, look, I deserve to be here. Will you remember me when you come into your kingdom? Now, that's another way of saying, well, will you forgive me for the things that I've done wrong? Now, he might have heard Jesus say to the crowd, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. You know, he couldn't come down off of that cross and become a good man, could he? So what did he do? He did the only thing he could do. He turned to Jesus, recognizing who he was. See, Jesus could say, Father, forgive them, because Jesus is God as well. And only God can forgive the things that we do wrong. So when Jesus was on the cross, he was being punished for the things that I've done wrong, for the things that you've done wrong, and the things that this man had done wrong as well. Now, this man only hurled insults at Jesus. He didn't ask him for forgiveness, so we don't hear anything more about him. But we know, or do we know, what do you think Jesus would have done with this man? Would he have ignored him? Would he have ignored me when I asked him to forgive me? Well, if you know anything about Jesus, you'll know that he wouldn't ignore him, and he certainly didn't ignore me, because we know that Jesus said to this man, this day you'll be with me in paradise. Which is another way of saying this day you'll be with me in heaven. Well, they were on the cross, and so what happened was they died on the cross, okay? And then Jesus was put in a tomb. Now, I don't have a tomb with me, but I've got something that's going to help us think about what happened next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in here, all right? Now, I'll put the three of them in. Now, the three of them wouldn't have gone into a tomb together. This is only a trick, but it's just helping us to think about what happened next. Because on the first day of the week, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and she got a tremendous surprise because the stone, or the big stone that was over the entrance of the tomb, had been rolled away. Where had it gone? It was so big it took many soldiers to put it in place. So she ran back to the other followers of Jesus. She told Peter what she saw, and he went running off to the tomb along with another follower of Jesus. Now, as soon as Peter got there, he went inside, and what do you think he saw? Well, what he saw was, as the Bible tells us, he saw some clothes lying on the ground. But did he see Jesus? He didn't see Jesus. Now, before I tell you where Jesus was, I'm going to show you what's in here first. Remember, I put three inside? So really, I ought to take three out. Isn't that right? So there's the first one, the thief on the cross. Okay, so we'll put that over there. And then what comes next? We've got another one, haven't we? So there's the other thief on the cross. Okay, and we'll put that over here. So that's two. Now, the next one really, which is trying to pop out already, ought to be the red card, the cross of Jesus. Well, before I show you what's in here, I'll tell you what happened to one of the women. She was there by the tomb. She was crying, wondering where Jesus was, and she met an angel. And the angel said this to her. This is what he said. Can you read it? It says, he is not here because he is risen. And that's the message of Easter. Jesus is not in the tomb anymore, because when Peter went in, what he saw was it was completely empty. There was nothing there at all in the tomb. Now, that's a story and that's a trick. But what happened is very real. Because when I was younger, I was told this story. And I asked Jesus to forgive me for the things that I've done wrong. And do you think he ignored me? No, he didn't. And you know, the Bible tells us that for all those who receive him, he gives the right to become children of God. And it also tells us that if we turn to him, he will not turn us away. And furthermore, it tells us that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes in him would not perish, but have everlasting life. Now, Who do you think is involved in that? When it says whoever, who do you think it means? Well, it means whoever. It's not complicated. It means everybody and anybody who wants to turn to Jesus and ask him to forgive their sins and come into their life, he will not turn them away. Now, I think that's good news. In fact, I know it's good news. I've known Jesus for a long, long time now, and I know that he's alive. But don't just take my word for it. What I want you to do is to find out for yourself. Read the Gospels for yourself. Read about Jesus for yourself. You can find out. You don't have to take my word for it. But I'll tell you, I do want you to do one more thing for me now. Thank you for watching what I've been doing. I want you to do this for me. Okay? I can't hear you. What I want you to do now is to do that. I want you to do it a lot louder. And when you've done that, what I want you to do is this. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you have a happy Easter and enjoy the Easter weekend. But remember the reason why Jesus came. He came to die on a cross for you. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.